Welcome,
Evening.
Yaz, and welcome to Courtney. This is our first for Cop Talk. We have a fan of the team we're playing in our next game on. So,
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. Listen, Courtney, you kick us off, right? Because I just want to ask you first of all, what do you think of the job Arteta's doing so far? Are you happy?
Yeah, I am happy. I'm happy with what he's doing. It's been last season was a very difficult season. I think there was a lot of people quick to jump on the bandwagon early this season after our first 3 games. We lost 3 games. But I like what he's doing with the team. He's reduced the age of the squad. It's kind of reminiscent of what you lot tried to do, basically, or what you lot done when Klopp took over. You had to clear a lot of players out and bring a lot of young players in. And I think we're doing the same kind of thing. I mean, to be honest, yeah, we spent quite a bit this summer. Was it 140, 150 million or something like that? But I think, to be honest, that needed to be done a long time ago. And when you haven't done that for so long, basically you then have to end up spending more money in areas that you shouldn't have done, because you should have basically been spending money every season, keeping the squad maintained. And I don't think that's something we've done. So, overall, I'm impressed.
And you're happy with the players that you bought?
Yeah, I'm happy with the players we bought. Ramsdale basically made me eat my own words. I'll be honest there. I wasn't too sure about that signing. I do like Leno, but I mean, Ramsdale's come in and he seems to have, taken the ball by the horns, really. He's coming in, he's doing a good job. Benjamin White, he's doing well. He's playing well with Gabriel. And Tomiyasu, I'd never even heard of this guy before. So I was a bit sceptical. Never heard of him, thinking, here we go again, another one of these signings. And basically, he seems to be a really, really good player. And especially since that Spurs was trying to go for him and they ended up with Emerson Royale, who doesn't seem to be great. And then we got Tomiyasu instead. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. So what do you think about tomorrow then, the game? Do you go... What's your... how do you feel? Do you think you're going to win?
No, I don't think we're going to win. But as long as I've seen improvement on what we've played at Anfield for the last couple of years. And when I say that, I mean, I want to see the team basically be a bit more compact.
Just get done by 3, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, all right. Just get done by 3. But to be fair, I want to see us be a bit more compact, like early in the game, because too many times at Anfield, we've given away an early goal. And after that, we're fighting against it, and then that's it. The floodgates open in 3, 4s, 5s, and it's not something we need. I think we've been quite solid this season as well. We've got one of the best defences in the league so far. And to be fair, I mean, apart from a couple of ropey games, like the Watford one wasn't a great performance, and Brighton, I think we've been playing well, to be honest.
Okay. Do you think that Arsenal are going to try and exploit Liverpool sort of the way we've been defending lately with that high line? Or do you think they're gonna? Do you think they're just gonna try and be, like you say, compact and not lose? Lose.
If I'm honest, I would like to see Arsenal maintain like some form of shape, basically, as in terms of at the back, and I think they've been doing that. Will Tierney get his place back? I'm not too sure. Or Tavares keep? I think Tavares has basically played well enough to keep that position. So the problem being for me at the moment, when I look at the team, is our central midfield. Now, if Partey's out tomorrow, we've already got Granit Xhaka out. If Partey's out, then who do we go with? Do we go with Lokonga and Maitland-Niles? Or do we go with Lokonga and El Neni, or El Neni and Maitland-Niles? Personally, I'd rather play El Neni and probably Maitland-Niles, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if Henderson's fit, you're going to have Henderson and Fabinho in the midfield. And I don't want to see Lokonga and Maitland-Niles in there, because they'll probably get overrun. So, and if we can cut out the supply and we can get in behind your fullbacks, then I think we can cause you problems. Because I think we've got pace to do it with like Saka, Smith Rowe. I would like to see Pepe play, but Arteta doesn't seem to fancy him. So that's basically a dream. I can't see that one happening at the moment. Okay. I think you're definitely there for the taking, but I don't think we will take. Every time a team's basically been weakened by injuries, Arsenal don't seem to exploit that. Like with Man United, Rashford comes on his first game, scores 2 goals. It always happens with us.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Courts. Just hold on a minute. So Yaz, what do you reckon about tomorrow?
It's very easy to say we're going to win the game because of like what Court said about the past 4 or 5 seasons. But I think it's a game where Arsenal can really make a point tomorrow. You know, look, if you were really asking people to put their predictions on the line, 9 out of 10 people would expect Liverpool to win tomorrow. Okay, so from an Arsenal side of perspective, I think they should go for it because if, like I said, 9 out of 10 people probably think Arsenal will lose tomorrow. Okay, apart from Arsenal fans, if you like, but if you ask a neutral or a football connoisseur, they think Arsenal will lose tomorrow. So, in my opinion, that tomorrow's game could be a defining moment in Arsenal's season because they're on a nice run now. They had a terrible start. They're on a nice run now. If they can go to Liverpool and win, people are really going to start to think the change is for real. Because at the moment, there's a little bit of, well, they've not really played anyone, well, they've been a bit lucky, well, everything's gone their way, blah, blah, blah. So they've won these games and there's a squiggle next to them. Okay, they're not for real. But if they go out there tomorrow and beat us, people are going to think, you know what, Arteta really has got it right and he does know what he's doing and they have turned the corner. Because if they go out tomorrow and get stuffed 4-0, they're going to think, well, it's the same old Arsenal. They've crumbled under pressure. They've folded like a stack of cards and it's expected. If they get a result tomorrow, a positive, not a draw, a positive result tomorrow, it is going to make a lot of people, for me, it will make Arteta double the man he is already, well, what he is now. Whatever he is now, he will have the authority to stand with broad shoulders if he wins tomorrow. So for Arsenal, it's a massive game to stamp some authority and really tell people, look, we're back. Now, on the other hand, if you ask me my opinion, my opinion is just waning a little bit. You know, in the past, I'd expect the 3s and the 4s at home. And I've been to the last 3, not last season, the 3 previous seasons, I was at each of those games. And we were relentless from the beginning, like Court said, and we just ruined them from very early on. Now, if that happens tomorrow, you know, then it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know what Arsenal, you know, it will be interesting to see how he sets his team up. Does he sit back at the beginning? Because if he sits back, I think he's going to get hurt. If they come at us, I think they could hurt us as well. So, look, I'm not saying Arsenal are the best team in Europe now, but I think they've improved. And there's been some worrying signs at Liverpool for the last few games. I mean, we certainly look vulnerable at times, albeit it's been in the air we look vulnerable, I think. You know, Saka's capable, Smith Rowe's capable. I've read earlier that I think Partey's playing calls, Partey's being past fit.
Yeah, I've heard that he might. I've heard that, but the problem is with Partey, as we saw last season, as soon as he's past fit after an injury, he breaks down quite quickly.
Yeah.
So I would rather not play him.
With all due respect, if you turn up at Anfield tomorrow, mate, with Lokonga, whatever he's called, and Maitland Niles, you might as well not leave London. There's no point. They're not going to do anything at Liverpool tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I would rather El Neni play ahead of Lokonga tomorrow. I'd rather play El Neni and Maitland Niles.
If they're the 3 midfielders you're talking about, you could play with 12 men. It wouldn't really bother us, I think. Yeah, I don't think
I get that.
They're all full players. You need. I mean, that Lokonga looks a bit raw. I've seen elements of.
He's a very good player.
Yeah, I think he needs to settle. He needs to settle, but he needs someone decent next to him. But I think, you know, if you ask me my opinion, I think Arteta will probably go into the game with a glass half empty on his heels and approach the game like that. I don't see Arsenal really coming out to us. On the other hand, we as a team. I think Fabinho will play. I think Robertson's fit. I don't know if he plays Robertson or Tsimikas. But
I heard Robertson was injured.
Man, I think they're okay. No, I think I read today that this evening that the chances are that they will play. They're likely to play. Salah, Trent. We know the team. Henderson. The midfield's a bit of a worry. I mean, we don't have much spare in midfield. No Firmino to link it all up a little bit. Mane can blow hot or cold. So, we're not fantastic this season just yet. Arsenal on an excellent run of form. It'll be an interesting game. We're at home and, we should win. I think we should win the game, but it wouldn't surprise me if we drew the game. And if Arsenal could beat us, then I think it'll be a massive statement for them and a really big statement. But I'm impressed with their defence. That Tommy S was a good player. I think Gabriel and White have really turned a good defensive partnership. The keeper's doing well. Have they played anyone at Liverpool's kind of level? Probably not.
Who have Arsenal played?
We haven't. I mean, in the first 3 games we played Brentford away, we played Chelsea at home and City away. So
you played City and Chelsea.
Yeah, they lost those games. They're talking about this.
Yeah, we lost those games. We lost those games,
but they've won.
But you got to remember, at the beginning of the season, the squad we had a lot of COVID cases as well. So the squad was quite threadbare at the beginning. I mean, if you look at the first game against Brentford, I mean, we were playing Balogun up front. So, at the end of the day, when you look at it, has the team basically got a bit better since we've got our players back? Yes, we've had quite a few new players playing as well. You've had Lukonga playing, like you said. You've had Ramsdale. You've had Tomiyasu. And then you've had Ben White as well. So you've had a few players to come in to try and basically, they've got to get to know each other as well. And I think they've done all right, if I'm completely honest. I just worry tomorrow about the midfield. I think if we play like the players that we can, like Pepe and stuff, I think he'll ruin people like Tsimikas. If Tsimikas plays, he really ruined Robertson before when he played against him for pace. So I just don't know why Arteta won't play him. I think he could cause a lot of problems
Pepe.
tomorrow. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust him to make a piece of toast, mate. You don't know what he's going to do.
I just don't think Pepe's been given I don't think he's been given a proper run in the team.
He's landed on a formation and he's landed on a successful run. So he's not changing it. I mean, you say he hasn't been given a chance. He's been there for the last 2 seasons and he hasn't exactly set the world alight. Now he's finding some honest players like Saka, like Smith Rowe. Pepe's got a bit of I'm not so sure Pepe's an honest player.
To be honest with you, I think basically people like Saka and Smith Rowe, too much is put on them. I think too much is put on them players. I think at the end of the day, look how many games Saka played for us last year. The kid was almost near burnout. So, I mean, how much more can we expect from like these 19-year-olds? I mean, you've got Pepe there. It's not Pepe's fault for the price tag that basically was put on him. To be honest with you, do I think Pepe's a £70 million player? I said it at the time. No, I think he's a £30 million player at best, probably at the moment. But do I see there's things with Pepe that can cause loads of problems to other teams? Yeah, I do. But I just think the guy needs a run in the team. I just don't think Arteta's getting it.
Odegaard.
He hasn't been great so far this season, but he's been carrying a few injuries. So I'll give him a pass until he really gets going. But yeah, I think he didn't start with the season with us, did he? He came in after about 2 or 3 games, didn't he? I mean, we bought him after 2 or 3 games before the window closed, so he wasn't there from the beginning. But yeah, I think Odegaard will come good. I don't know about us basically going for people like Isco in January. I just can't see the point in that. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, I think all we need to do is just maintain some form of consistency, whereas the last couple of years we haven't. And I think we'll be all right. Listen, I don't expect us to get in the top 4 this year. And I don't think it'd be a good idea if we do get in the top 4 because I don't think we've got the squad to compete in the Champions League. So I think getting back into the Europa League.
I was going to ask you. So what would a successful season be for you?
For me, it would be getting back into Europe. I mean, I'm glad we never got the Europa Conference League last year. I mean, Tottenham can have that. Yeah, they can keep that. Want that. Because basically this year, Arteta's got no real excuses, has he? I mean, he's been given money to spend and he's not in Europe. So he's got less games than a lot of these other teams. So realistically, we should be concentrating on the league. We should be concentrating on the FA Cup, the League Cup. So winning a cup would be great and just getting back into Europe. Obviously, we've got the Champions League. That's a bonus, but I don't think the team's ready for it yet. But I think that we just need to get back into Europe, just get our feet basically back in there. It's just, if you look back into it, if you look at when Klopp basically signed, I mean, you lot got to Europa League final that year, didn't you?
Yeah.
The year he was there. And then, then you went on a couple of seasons more and then you started pushing and then you built the team finally to win the league. And I think that's exactly what we need to do. I mean, at the end of the day...
The difference with what we had and what you're going through is we had one of the best managers in the world, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And secondly, we raised the £150 million close to by selling Coutinho and went and bought the best goalkeeper in the world and the best centre-back in the world. At the time, not today.
Yeah,
at the time.
Not on the last game. He's not the best goalie in the world.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that in the last couple of seasons he's been the best goalkeeper in the world.
Listen, he's exceptional, and we bought Van Dijk, who's exceptional. So
yeah, I think Van Dijk makes a difference to you, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think Alisson makes a difference compared to what you had. The goalkeepers you had. We bought
Fabinho. The money we got by selling Coutinho enabled us to take it to the next level. Spending just 150 million like you have, I mean, you probably need to spend another 150 million, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. We need to spend probably another 150 million, but that's the point I was making earlier on. Like, where basically we haven't invested properly for so many years.
Yeah.
And when I say properly, we've spent money, but we spent money in wrong places. And it's not, it's no secret. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Carragher, but at the end of the day, we should invest in the team. We need to. But for me, with owners, like when you basically sold players like Coutinho and stuff like that, you made 140, 150 million. Arsenal don't have any players of value.
No equity. Like there's no equity at Arsenal.
But this has basically been poor management at the club for years. Now, Jason, you know exactly what I've been saying. If anything, I called out when Wenger was leaving. I told you years ago, there was only one manager I wanted, and that I said to you, that was Jurgen Klopp. Now, at the end of the day, Wenger's gone. Emery came in. Okay. He done all right.
You see, I remember when you told me about Jurgen, you said, I want Jurgen Klopp. So what I did, I rang Jurgen. I said, listen, mate, Courtney wants you to go to Arsenal. Forget that. Swerve them. Come to Liverpool.
Oh, okay. So basically you're saying you use my football knowledge then. Okay.
No. Listen, I think that tomorrow the game, I think, look, Arsenal, yes, you've improved from last season, definite, 100%. You look a much more difficult team to play. But I'm still expecting Liverpool to win the game. And
I still expect that as well.
Listen, I'm a bit concerned with the last couple of games. I mean, I was at the Brighton game. I went up to Anfield for that game, and the way we played in the second half was a worry for me. And if Brighton had better players, they would have won that game. So, I'm just a bit concerned about the way the team's playing at the moment, but I'm hoping that tomorrow, he picks Konate at the back, because I think Van Dijk needs a bit of help with pace at the back in that central area of defence, because they play such a high line that what West Ham did well, they targeted Matip on the turn and the ball over the top. And that through ball and the players running from deep, and they targeted Matip because they knew that Matip couldn't get back. Whereas when they went to Van Dijk made a couple of last-ditch tackles against West Ham because he's got the pace to do the recovery. But Konate is just as quick as Van Dijk. And I think if we want to play that high line, then he's got to play Konate tomorrow, because Konate will allow Van Dijk not to panic about the rest of the defence. He can worry about his own side of the pitch, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I think that who Klopp picks to play with Van Dijk is key. I really hope he picks that Kanata. I really do. Robertson worries me. His form has been terrible. I mean, Yaz has been saying that since last season. We've been saying that. Tsimikas has done well when he's come into the team. His delivery looks even better than Robertson's at the moment. I just think, I think Liverpool are just ahead of Arsenal in terms of team development.
Oh, I wouldn't say just ahead. I would say
do you know what I mean? When I say just ahead, I mean we're ahead of you in that development.
Yeah,
and the team sort of the life of the team. This is now the peak of this team, I think. This kind of, they've been together 3 years, the core of that team, 3.5 years they've been together. So I think now they're coming into their peak. And look, even though against Brighton we didn't play that well, I mean, we played so well initially, and we should have had the game away from Brighton.
But there's more than the Brighton game, Jason.
And then the West Ham game. Even again, we didn't. We sort of we did. It's like we knew what West Ham were going to do. We didn't counteract it properly, like I said, with the defence.
I think it's very hard with West Ham, because West Ham are very good on set pieces, and they showed it against you lot. They showed it against Tottenham. I mean, I think they scored the most goals from set pieces this season. Is it 6 or something like that? So they're very strong.
But you know what, Cody? I mean, Yaz made a good point. The last time we spoke, we should have counteracted that by playing 3 at the back, maybe changing the formation of the team. Klopp is very, very loyal to all his players, and he will stick with a player through thick and thin. I mean, it's one of his strengths, because that's why the players love him. But on the other hand, it can hurt us, because look at what happened with Robertson's fallen off a cliff now with his form, and he's got Tsimikas who's playing well, chomping at the bit, ready to go, but he's not trusting him yet in these big games. So, and also the formation 4-3-3 all the time, 4-3-3. All right, it's been successful. We've had great success with it. We've won a league, won a Champions League. But sometimes you've got to look at the other team and their strengths. And West Ham at the moment, we know what they're going to do from a set piece. Stick another big central defender in there, a bit more protection. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't do that. And it's a little bit of a worry. But look, I've been for the last few years watching Liverpool, it's been some of the best football I've seen. So I've got to trust this team are going to bounce back from that West Ham performance. And I think the international break would have done them good, because they would have had a lot of time to think about that game. And I'm hoping it hurt them. And unfortunately, they might take it out on you guys tomorrow. But I think Arsenal is definitely a big test for us. It's a big test.
I don't know about that. I mean, Arsenal have been, as much as I'm happy with the way Arsenal have improved defensively, I'm a little worried about the way we're playing offensively. If you look at the only game I say we really played really well in the offensive side of things was against Spurs. And that was a North London derby, so we turned up, and I was quite shocked that we started the way we did. I mean, we were all over Tottenham, we were 3-0 up within the first half. And that's not really what you see in a North London derby. It's not normally one-sided like that. But then in the second half, we went back to the defensive side, and then we conceded a goal. And then later on, Ramsdale pulled off a brilliant save for Mora, and it could have been 3-2. Next thing you know, a couple of minutes left, it could go 3-3. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, I think. But what I would say against Liverpool tomorrow, it will be a big test, because this is the time that, for example, our central defenders like Gabriel and Benjamin White have actually played together against a big team. So we will see what happens, but I do believe you're there to take, but I don't think we'll win the game. I think if we exploited your fullbacks like Trent and Robertson, who like to get too far forward sometimes, if you put the ball over the top and you've got players with pace like Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, you can get exploited. You can get exploited.
That's Liverpool. Liverpool play high-risk football, though. That's what we do. We push right up.
Cut out the supply, if you cut out the supply to Salah, if you're keeping those fullbacks pinned back with balls over the top where they're not going to be going forward, then Salah's not going to get the supply that he needs. And that's the thing. That's what I noticed. If you look at the West Ham game, Salah wasn't getting the ball as much because West Ham kept causing you a lot of problems down those channels. So,
yeah, but also what they did with Salah was there was like 3 players on him every time he had the ball.
That's sometimes what you got to do, isn't it? Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, Liverpool couldn't exploit that by giving it to someone else. So, listen, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Very interesting
game. Definitely. It'd be interesting to hear you guys' opinion after the game. I'm sure you'll both be smiling.
We'll try. We'll try. Hopefully,
we'll try, Jay. You don't need to try that hard. I know you will.
Are you going to come on tomorrow after the game?
Yeah. No worries. I'll be on. Don't worry. I'll be there. No win, lose or draw. I'll be there.
Let's do it.
I know you will, man. You're a top geezer, man. Listen, Courtney, man. Thanks
for having me, guys.
All right.
For having me.
First ever non-Liverpool fan on the channel, man.
Yeah, hey, get in there.
All right, guys. Good night.
Have a good evening.
Take care.
Bye.